I'm the Chief Information Officer at MindTree. So anything to do with information systems or applications or infrastructure that MindTree has to use or live on comes under my jurisdiction. I'd say we are organized, basically split up into applications and infrastructure. We are organized into towers. I have 8 towers, so 8 leaders who manage those towers. We have transaction systems, content systems, service and storage, data and voice networking, security, risk management, communications and collaboration, data center operations, and desktop management. These are the 8 towers largely. So the entire gamut of IT for MindTree comes under me. And if you look at it, MindTree is my only customer. It always impacts the CIO, because the CIO has to get the plumbing done so that you all can live in the same campus. If you compare it with the real estate, you're bringing 2 buildings or 2 communities together, and it is an important job of the CIO to provide that eco space around these 2 buildings to be able to conduct business and do transactions in. The most important thing I think, or you should have a plan, you should have a strategy. CIOs cannot exist in a vacuum that, okay, I've done all this for my company and suddenly something else happens and you have to integrate another company. You shouldn't say, oh my God, it takes forever to do this. You should have a strategy. We also acquired some small companies before. So around that time frame, we developed a framework on how we are going to integrate any new company we acquire. Of course, not everything is solid. There are going to be areas where the other company may be good at something, and you'll have to implement those practices in your company as well. But you have to have a framework, and you should be prepared. Once you're prepared, I think gone are the days where they can give you a couple of years to make this happen. I think now it's largely a few months to a year that they give you. We started very early on the path with an ERP implementation. We realized that you can't put the plumbing after the house is built. Management and the leadership team believed the plumbing has to be done early on. We went with Oracle very early on, and for some reasons it didn't work out, and then we adopted SAP. We made the decision to go with SAP in 2004, late 2004 or early 2005. Since then we didn't look back. We have stayed steady and kept the focus on 2 things. One is we are going to implement a single integrated transaction system. So no matter what comes, we go back and look, do you want to deviate from this strategy? So we don't deviate as much as possible. Second thing is, the moment you permeate different systems for different things, you induce complexity. You induce complexity in reconciliation, bad jobs, information being dispersed, so you can't have real-time access to information. It will always be somewhat old. And then you have to implement a lot of frameworks like SOA and all this. You make one complicated situation, and then it just leads to several complexities. So we decided to implement SAP. We thought had all the bells and whistles we needed to stick within a single platform for all our needs. That's fundamentally why we went with SAP. And over the last, I'd say 3 years, we have implemented close to 24 business processes on SAP. And really the first year was really a ramp-up year, so nothing went live. But if you look at it, April 2006 to April 2008, we launched almost 1 business process every month. That's a pretty aggressive pace for any company. And we are reaping the rewards right now. One of the biggest benefits, I would say, is if you look at MindTree in 2005, we were doing close to about 300 projects or so per month, 250 more like. And we used to be able to invoice just effort by the 18th of the month. Month closes, let's say the month of August closes, by September 18th or so we were able to invoice all this. And it was a very manual process, right? Billing inputs had to come in, invoices had to be generated and all. Today we are running anywhere between 750 and 800 projects, and we close effort and expense billing on the second or third day of the month. That is the magnitude of difference it has done. If you look at our outstanding balances, the interest costs alone return a huge savings for our company. Second benefit we have received is decision making is no longer a magician's job, right? Decision making has become pretty concrete now. Everybody who walks into the meeting has one source for information. That is our Empower implementation, which is SAP implementation. Nobody argues about your data, my data, his data anymore. Everybody's data comes from one source. So the meeting revolves around decisions rather than about data, which is, I think, it sounds simple, but I'll tell you, having worked for large organizations before, it's a very complex thing to get everybody to come with a single set of data. I think these two I can say. And obviously, utilization data is much more granular. In our business, you have to measure the utilization, which is number of people on projects versus number of total people, billable people in the organization, right? All these we are able to look at very granularly, take necessary decisions. To the effect our chairman himself has stated that we probably gained about 1% improvement in PAT, or 1% PAT can be attributed to this Empower implementation because of the operational efficiencies it has brought about within the organization.